born?
I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, on Domain Street in 1956. I have two sisters and one brother, and I stayed out in New Orleans till about 3 years old. Then we all moved out here to California, where we've been living since.
Tell me about the family you grew up with.
Well, I grew up with my brother. We was close. My two sisters, who always used to pick on me, but we lived right next door to our grandparents on 136th Street in Compton, and we always used to go to family events. Even if we wanted to stay home and play with our friends, we still had to go to the family events. But once we got there, we loved playing with our cousins and loved going outside and play.
What are your favorite memories from your childhood?
My favorite memories was on 132nd Street, where all my friends live, and we knew everybody on that whole street. And even my cousins, when they come over, they knew everybody on that whole street. And all we used to do is play. And as we got older, going to house parties, loved going to house parties and church.
What memories stand out from school?
Memories that stand out from school was basically dealing with my PE coaches, and I loved my history coach and my math coach. And the biggest thing was sports. I love sports. I ran track. I ran 12 different events, and I won Prep Track and Field Athlete of the Year, and that was the biggest moment in high school.
What challenging experience did you have in your youth?
The biggest challenging experiences is basically when I was in high school, trying to win all those awards and going to all the different events. And probably the most challenges was my first job, trying to find a job, and once I got it, trying to hang on it, hang with it, and do good. But I think the biggest challenge was when my grandfather passed away, and I was really, really, really close to my grandfather. He taught me everything I knew about construction and stuff, and just dealing with that, and the job and graduating from school, all those was pretty much big challenges.
What did you like to do for fun when you were growing up?
Oh, hanging out with my friends. We used to always jump on our bikes. We used to ride on down to the pier. You know, we used to go all over. We used to ride to the beach. And then getting my first car, once I got my first car, or we used to always just go places. Couldn't stop us from doing anything. Just hanging out with all my friends and my new car, and just doing whatever we want to do.
Now,
what kind of work have you done in your life?
Oh, I've done all kind of things. I remember my first job was working at a car wash. And I used to work there like on the Saturdays, and I make big tips. And then I went from that, went to a factory. My buddies got me a job at a factory, making these buffing things for shine on cars and stuff. But my real job was when I got to the post office. And once I got to the post office, I loved it because I was always outside, delivering mail, meeting people. And I was on one route for about 30 years, and I was with the post office for about over 40 years, which I just retired. And I'm living a good life now.
Tell me about your life since you became an adult.
Well, I got to do something that a lot of people don't get to do. I married my childhood sweetheart, and then we got our first place, where it was just great because we lived, on our own, doing our own thing. And then, bingo, we had my first kid, my daughter, who was a daddy girl, and then I was a daddy girl too. And then after that, we kind of grew up, and then we got another place, and then we just kind of just lived our lives. And the best part was Christmas, buying the toys, and birthdays and celebrations and wedding anniversaries, and we just had a wonderful life.
Okay.
What are your favorite hobbies?
Oh, my favorite hobbies. One of them is basically collecting cars. I like collecting different classic cars and stuff. But I also like collecting little Hot Wheels. I got a big collection of Hot Wheels, and I like building things because I learned a lot from my grandfather building things. Sometimes I take over my grandson's Legos and build things, and I just like collecting things, all kind of things, and just making things.
What advice do you have for the future generation?
Well, the advice I have for the future generations: never stop trying, no matter how hard it gets. You gotta keep on. Even if people tell you, "Hey, you might as well stop trying. You're gonna lose." You gotta remember you don't lose until you stop trying, and you gotta take it a step further. And even don't be scared to succeed, or don't be scared to fail. Even if you fail, you got the problem halfway solved. So all you got to do is figure out how to keep on going. And some people in this world, kids, they always ask kid through all their life. But sometimes you got to grow up and you got to throw away childish things and start doing what you're supposed to do to succeed in life. That's why this world is kind of screwed up right now, because some people still act like children. But if you don't do that and you keep your head on straight, you can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Grandpa, for thank you, Grandpa. And
Go ahead.
thank you. Okay, ready? Okay, thank you, Grandpa, for me having this time to interview you for my project.
Oh, anytime. That's what I learned from my grandfather. Help, and you should never ever not be scared to ask for someone to help you.
I learned a lot. Like one, you was actually a track superstar, like a superstar for track, and I learned that you always like to hang out with you want to hang out with your friends, but you can't, and you had to go to your family events, and you said you had a ball. And other ones, you always like cars and building stuff with Legos too. Well, my Legos, but yeah.
And I hope you're gonna be just like me.
And
you grow up, because I turned out great. My daughter turned out great, and you better turn out great.
Yes.